Good morning, my darlings. How are you this morning? Everybody getting along? Everybody sitting at the table? You know, I'm thinking about you. Because today is lesson 5. We are going to be talking about the prairies and Ontario in North America. As we travel east of the Rockies, we will encounter the prairie provinces and beyond. Southern Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba are known for their grasslands. Although the northern areas of these provinces contain boreal forests, similar to those found in the south part of the territories in northern BC, these provinces are known for their farming and agriculture in the south. East of Manitoba is Ontario, considered central Canada. Geographically, although most Western Canadians would consider it the beginning of Eastern Canada. It is here that all federal government decisions are made in the nation's capital, Ottawa. There is a lot to discover in these provinces, so let's get started. Oh, we have an activity break. All right, get out an atlas, map, or globe and look for Manitoba. How many lakes can you count? Manitoba is well known for having vast wilderness in the north of Winnipeg. Find the city of Winnipeg on the map. Over half of the population of the province lives in Winnipeg, so the rest of the province is quite sparsely inhabited. Can you find any other cities labeled on your map or atlas? Okay. Each of the provinces we'll look at today have different business features. Although geographically they are all landlocked provinces and in the middle of the nation, there are many distinctions in each one. Alberta is known for its oil and gas industry, with Calgary and Edmonton, the fourth and fifth largest cities in Canada, playing a big role. Edmonton is also known for the West Edmonton Mall, the largest mall in North America. This is funny, you guys. It contains the largest indoor amusement park in the world. Saskatchewan is known as the land of the living skies, with endless grasslands and skies as far as you can see. There are many jokes about being able to see your dog run away for weeks in Saskatchewan, and with the flat, straight roads, it just might be possible. Manitoba is known for its beautiful lakes, excuse me, and all the mosquitoes that go with them, as well as the history of the Métis people in the Red River area. Ontario is home to both the largest city in Canada, which is Toronto, as well as Canada's capital, Ottawa. It is here that the tone for the nation is set with laws passed and changes made for better or for worse. Land and animals. These provinces in Canada are home to many different landforms. In the eastern Canadian Rockies, you will find rolling hills, vast open prairies, gorgeous lakes, beautiful forests, and remarkable badlands. This makes for a stunning diversity of wildlife, such as large mammals like moose, deer, and antelope, bears, and wolves. Birds of prey, waterfowl, and songbirds all find an ideal habitat somewhere in these provinces, while smaller mammals like beaver, muskrat, and coyotes have been trapped here for centuries. Even rattlesnakes find a home in the Canadian Badlands. The beaver was made an official emblem of Canada in 1975 to honor the creature for its role in the fur trade. This small mammal is featured on the Canadian 5-cent coin and is known for its industrious nature, its long buck teeth, and its unique tail. A beaver's teeth never stop growing, so they have to chew on things to keep their teeth from getting too long. This is a perfect design since they build their houses, called lodges, out of branches piled high in a pond. The pond is often created by a dam made of branches, and these branches just happen to be made out of the perfect material to keep a beaver's ever-growing teeth in check, wood. These animals are amazing swimmers, and they enter their lodges underwater to protect them from predators. Beavers were an important animal to the trappers in the days before Canada became a nation. Beaver pelts were often manufactured into fashionable felt hats for Europeans. They were so desired that beavers were hunted to near extinction in Europe. European hat makers were willing to pay a good price to the traders bringing goods from Canada. Oh, here's an activity break. Look up pictures of beaver lodges or dams and learn more about this remarkable animal. They really are cute. The food in these provinces reflects their landlocked nature with a heavy emphasis on agriculture and cattle. In Alberta, it is common to see window decals on trucks declaring, "I love Alberta beef." The food here has also been heavily influenced by several European cuisines, particularly those of the Mennonites, mostly German descent, as well as many Ukrainian and Russian dishes. The typical farmhouse dinner is hearty and filling, with staples like potatoes and bread playing an important role. While many people in these landlocked provinces also embrace the food of nations other than their own heritage, it is still most common in the prairie provinces to be offered a roast, steak, or something made with ground beef alongside a hearty potato side dish. Ontario is home to a different kind of agriculture. You will find fruit orchards and vineyards more than grain fields and cattle ranges. Many of Ontario's cities have large populations of newcomers to Canada, and the foods eaten in these communities tend to be more diverse than in the prairies. Canada is home to many delicious treats that were either developed here and then shared with the world, like maple syrup, or mostly kept within the country, like ketchup chips. Yes, ketchup-flavored chips. Not all Canadians think this is a good idea. Some hate them and some love them. Butter tarts are another classic Canadian treat, featuring a flaky pastry shell with a filling made with butter, sugar, and eggs. Raisins or nuts can be added for some texture. Other treats such as flapper pie, Saskatoon pie, tiger tail ice cream, beaver tails, not the real thing, it's kind of like a donut, all dressed chips, and Nanamio bars are all unique to Canada. I have no idea what Nanamio is. That might be something to look up. So the history and the culture. What's all that about? One of the most iconic symbols of Canada is her national police force, which is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The red serge jackets, tall leather boots, and distinctive tan hats make a striking picture. While these uniforms are only used for dress occasions today, they are remarkably similar to the original uniform adopted by the Northwest Mounted Police in the late 19th century. The Northwest Mounted Police were born out of a need to ensure peace and cooperation with federal laws in the newly expanding nation. Shortly after the Confederation, when Canada became a nation, the government purchased Rupert's Land from the Hudson's Bay Company. This frontier contained much of what we know now as northern Quebec and Ontario, Manitoba, as well as much of Saskatchewan, Alberta, and the Northern Territories. It had been owned by HBC, had been owned by the Hudson's Bay Company, but they had not governed it in any way. The trappers and traders relied on cooperation with Indigenous peoples for their survival. So there was really no reason to try to get the Indigenous peoples to conform to the European way of life. With Canada's purchase of this land and the plans to settle the vast wilderness, it was obvious that there would be a need to enforce the law in a greater capacity. These new settlers would not necessarily see the same need to cooperate with the Indigenous peoples, and the Canadian government did not want to see the same kinds of wars that the Americans had encountered as people settled the West. The Northwest Mounted Police grew with the expanding population of Canada, setting up forts as bases for their patrol duties, eventually moving into British Columbia and up into the Yukon as the Klondike Gold Rush brought many prospectors to the territory. This force that had been formed as a temporary solution was becoming an essential part of Canadian life. The force's name changed to the Royal Northwest Mounted Police in 1904. During the early part of the 20th century, it became apparent that this policing force would be a permanent institution in Canadian law enforcement. After the First World War, the government debated dissolving the force or expanding it to the national police force it is today. The new name became effective in February 1920. Okay, get your little notebooks out, you guys. It's Mommy's turn. She's going to go over everything with you. There's a hands-on activity. Ooh, Joshua. Bury plastic dinosaurs in a sandbox or tray. Provide your children with small shovels and brooms, okay, you guys are following this, or stiff paintbrushes to brush the sand off with. Then send your children on a dinosaur dig. Oh, that sounds like fun. You guys might want to do that up at the ranch. All right, my darlings, I love you very much. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. You know what I say. See you later. Bye.